Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LinkedIn workshop for the College of Business. We go ahead and get started here, but before I jump into the presentation, I just want to remind everybody that this session is being recorded. A copy of the slides and any of the shared material will be provided in a follow-up email. And anyone who's tuning in live, if you don't mind just staying muted so that anybody watching the replay has a clean recording. But if at any time you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or put your questions in the chat. And for folks that may have questions that are watching the replay, please email me or schedule an appointment and we can chat one-on-one. So if this is your first time interacting with USU Career and Alumni Services, hello, my name is Logan Todd. I am the Career and Alumni Services Manager for United States University. My job is really to help you feel prepared with whatever is next for you. So if that means asking for a promotion, negotiating salary, finding a new job, maybe you're going to move on and do another level of education, we can chat about that too. But really, I can help you with anything you see on the screen here. But today we're going to focus on LinkedIn, of course. If at any time you want to meet with me one-on-one and you have questions, you want me to look at your resume, you can schedule an appointment with me here using my Calendly link, or you can just send me an email. I'm happy to communicate with you via email. So today, of course, we're going to talk all about LinkedIn, why we should be on LinkedIn, and what we should be doing on LinkedIn. So things that you can do on LinkedIn other than create a profile like any other social media platform, right? So you have the ability to connect with groups and organizations of interest based on what you choose. You can go in, you can set filters and parameters based on kind of what you're looking for, and then check out companies and check out people, organizations that resonate with you. LinkedIn is also a great place to search for alumni from USU and your other institutions you may have attended previously, but also with recruiters. So if you're looking for jobs, this is the place to be. If you are interested in going in human resources or talent acquisition and you're looking to hire folks, LinkedIn is the place to be. So not only can you search for people like you, but you can also search for other candidates, or if you are a candidate, you can search for people who might want to hire you. So there is that job search feature on there, which we'll check out a little bit later today. And then you also have the ability to really develop your personal brand. So I always like to ask, if you haven't already, you should definitely start Googling yourself. What is coming up? Are you happy with it? Do you like what's popping up? Is the content relevant? So if I was an employer and I was looking to hire you and I were Googling your name, what would you want to pop up when you do so? Would it be good things? Would you want it related to your industry, related to work? Right? Start thinking about that as you navigate this process, because employers are Googling you. They are looking for you. So if you're brand new to LinkedIn, or if maybe you already have a LinkedIn profile, what I would recommend first is really checking out that public URL. So if I were to Google search you and I'm not seeing LinkedIn come up, that means we have to change our URL. So what I mean by that is you all have a specified URL for each of your profiles. So if you have never changed this, it's likely some version of your name with a bunch of letters and numbers afterwards. What I would recommend is going in and cleaning this up a little bit and changing it to be your either first and last name or some version of this. So first, last name, the number 1, or if you have a pretty common name, let's say like Jane Smith, right? There's thousands of Jane Smiths in the world. So go in and change it to something a little bit more unique that you'll remember. So you can access this URL link on your profile if you're on your computer or desktop version. I believe you can't do this on mobile, but you can do it on your computer. And when you're on your public profile, you'll click this little pencil icon and you'll be able to edit this URL. Like I said, this really allows the employers to find you easily. And also when they Google search you, you're likely to come up in the first page of results because we edited this URL. Now, why am I telling you to do this other than that? You can also add this to your resume, add it to business cards, email signatures, and it's very easy to read. They know it's a LinkedIn URL. The next thing we should do is brand our profile. So we want to make it look like us, feel like us, and showcase our personality. So these are just a couple examples. We have Tony over here, who is in talent development as a consultant, but he's also an Air Force veteran. So you can see here from his profile, you can really get to know him a lot based on what he has here. It's very well branded to him. Yasmin here is in Southern California. with an MBA. So you can see here we have a nice California skyline, clean profile photo, and I know that she's interested in advertising. Now, something a little bit more personalized, right? We can maybe use Canva or any of the other design platforms out there to create something a little bit more tailored. LinkedIn also has a pre-built data or photo set that you can choose from. Those are great as well. Choose one that makes sense for you. You can upload your own photo or image. Choose something that makes sense based on the industry or what you're studying. For headline, though, this is really important because this is what recruiters and hiring managers are searching for when they're trying to find you. So you want to make sure that whatever you put in this headline is relevant to your industry and it's hitting those important keywords. So I have this formula here to really help you build a strong headline. Yes, it's okay to put our current job or maybe MBA candidate, right? That's totally fine to put that in there, but I want you to add more because I know you have way more skills than you're just being an MBA student. So right here, it says if you're currently employed, you can mention your job title, right? Unless you're looking for something else. If you're going to school to get a higher degree so you can move in to a different career, then we're going to put the type of career we want to move into. Then we might have a couple industry-specific keywords. So for example, here, right, revenue growth, cloud-enabled technology, product development, sales, and then some other keywords or hard skills that a recruiter would look for if they're trying to hire you. So that's kind of a secret formula for putting this headline together, and how it shows up on the recruiter side is when they are doing their Boolean searches and they're really trying to dig in and find good candidates, they're using those keywords that you are putting in your headline. So in search results, right, they might be looking for someone who has product development and sales experience, right? So in this case, this person would come up because they have it in their headline. Now, under profile recommendations, so again, this might be a recruiter side and they'll say candidates recommended to you. Based on your keywords, you're going to show up in that result. And similarly, in your LinkedIn activity, so if you are liking, engaging with their post, commenting, sharing, this will also pop up for the recruiter there. They can click in and read more about your profile. So your headline does matter, and I like to add in, just try your best to really enhance that and optimize it to your industry and what you're interested in. Here we have our about section. This is equally important as our headline because the keywords that you put into this about section are also important when it comes to job searching. Now, I don't want you to think of this as a biography section. This is not the place to put anything like that. This is really to showcase your skills and to showcase and highlight your academic background, interests, and career goals. We're going to put some relevant keywords in there. We're going to really highlight the achievements and activities that we personally have done. So LinkedIn also recently launched this top skills section. So you can see in this example here, it lists the 5 top skills. You have the ability to control these 5 skills, whatever you want these top skills to be. It will showcase them in your about section. But you can see here, this about section is not very lengthy, but it's really good because it hits on the industry, hits on what you're passionate about, your background in academics, and then it also has a bunch of keywords, right? So it talks about data analysis, adaptability, problem solving, project management. It even name drops a couple, right? Like SQL. So this is what I would try to aim for you to do. It doesn't have to be very lengthy. Like I said, this is a pretty short, condensed example, but it hits the mark. It does what it needs to do to get in front of a recruiter. And that's the goal here. Also, if you're trying to network and meet new people, you want to put whatever in this about section, you would want to put whatever you want them to know immediately without having to scroll down and read the rest of your profile. So what do you want them to know quickly at a glance? And then I did link an article here, so I'll make sure that you get the slides in my follow-up email. You'll be able to click this and it will take you to an article on how to write a strong summary. It does give some more examples, so you can definitely check that out later today. Moving forward again, we are going to our education section. So education, not as super important as the previous ones with all those keywords, but it is important, especially if they're looking for an MBA, for example, right? We want to be able to filter and sort and find who they're looking for. And so if you have an MBA on your profile, I want you to spell out the full Master of Business Administration, but I also want you to put the condensed acronym, the MBA. because sometimes they might use different searches when they're looking for you. And so they might spell out the full thing, but they also might condense it and choose the short MBA option. Same thing with the rest of your degrees, right? So we'll have Bachelor of Science, but we'll also list BS as well. You'll list out all of the degrees and fields of study from your previous institutions, including the one now, of course, at USU. And then you can include any honors, awards, relevant coursework, skills, interest sections in here as well. There's a space for you to put open text. You can also link things here too. So if there's a course project that you're really excited about or your capstone project that you want to link in here, you can embed media directly within this section. So a pretty cool new feature that LinkedIn recently launched. With our experiences, we're still going to fill out as much information as we can, including the names of the organization, how long we worked there, volunteer work, projects. This is the same scenario here. And then we can include bullet points or a short paragraph. Now, no one likes to read paragraphs, right? So what we want to do is make this easily digestible for whoever's reading it. You can absolutely copy and paste from what's on your resume or your CV and put it on LinkedIn as well. It's great in that way because once you upload that application, it's hitting the keywords there, but we're also hitting the keywords on our profile. When we make those bullet points, I want you to really think about highlighting the value that you provided, but also the achievements and successes that you had. So instead of saying, led a team of coworkers or led a team of subordinates or whatever it is, we can be a little bit more specific with that, right? Provide some numbers in there. What did your team do? What was the outcome at the end of the year? Did you have a really good year? Include details about that. And so these bullet points here are really solid examples to kind of show you and give you some idea of what it should be framed as. Again, moving further down our profile, we have our skills and endorsements section. So LinkedIn recently enhanced this section a little bit. You've always had the option to get endorsements. And what that means is having a peer, supervisor, anyone you're connected to in your network, be able to validate that you know this skill. And so it's an easy process. You can ask your friends to do it and start getting endorsements. But this really provides proof that you know the skill and can perform. Like I said, ask peers, mentors, colleagues to endorse these skills for you, but I want you to fill up this section. I believe LinkedIn has the option to do 50 plus skills, so really fill that out and put all the keywords and skills that you know. There are some skills, for example, like Microsoft Word, Excel, other technical software like SQL. There are skills assessments where you take a quick quiz and it gives you a special badge in this section, which is pretty cool. So if you are a little bit more advanced in one of these skills, you can certainly check out those assessments. And then it just provides further validation that you know this skill and can perform. Some other things to consider, though, are some other sections. So these might apply to you, they might not. But project, courses, and certifications, these are all 3 separate sections. But you have the ability to fill these in on your profile. So highlighting relevant projects, I know I said you could link them within your education section, but if you want to really showcase those in its own section on your profile, you have that ability. You can add certifications. So if you have an Excel certification or if you have Google Analytics, project management certification, you can include those as well with your credential ID numbers. You can even link your certificate on there. So lots of really cool capabilities built right into LinkedIn. Achievements and volunteer experience is pretty self-explanatory. It's very similar to how we would fill in our regular work experience history. You can also embed images and links and resources within there. And then that media and portfolios I was talking about. So you really have the option to embed media, PDFs, images, links, videos, really showcase your work right on your profile, which I think is awesome because if you're handing in a traditional resume and an application, you don't have that ability to add supplemental documents to really showcase this stuff. So if you have your LinkedIn linked on your resume, then you can send them here and have all of this awesome portfolio work to showcase and share with them. So really check out and take advantage of that option. And then at the very bottom of your profile, you have the option to send and receive recommendations. So this is a little bit different than a letter of recommendation or professional recommendation that someone would typically send or give as a reference letter. This is an option for it to be highlighted directly on your profile. So if you have someone who's written you a letter in the past, consider asking them to write a LinkedIn recommendation. It doesn't have to be as lengthy as a traditional letter. It can be something as simple as a few sentences or a few paragraphs, whatever they wish. But recommendations are great because, again, it's providing further proof that you know what you're talking about. You're a leader in your field, right? You have people backing you up to show that you're a good candidate. So definitely check out these options to really enhance and optimize our profile. So I'm going to actually jump over to LinkedIn right now, and we're going to check it out together. So when you log into LinkedIn, you have a couple options, right? If it's your first time, it's going to ask you a couple questions. I don't know. They used to have a feature where you can upload your resume and it will pre-populate your profile. I'm not sure if that still exists today, but if not, have your profile or resume ready to go so you can copy and paste and fill it in from there. You can always access your profile from the little Me button. Here's where that profile URL option is. So it's just hanging out in the top right corner of your profile. And they actually just launched this new feature here where it will help you enhance your profile. You can also click Add Profile section and it will give you recommendations for what to add. There's also some additional resources for you. But anywhere you see a pencil icon, that is where you have the ability to edit. So here's that About section I talked about where we can choose our top skills. If you scroll down a little bit further, we have our experience sections. Then we have our education. You can see here there's some linked media, licenses and certifications. So this is how it will show up if you have one and you have your credential in there, and the button will take you to that certification. You have the ability to link that. You have a volunteering section, and here are those skills, right? We can have people endorse us. Recommendations are found here. So it will show the ones that you've received, but also the ones that you have given. If you have any publications, courses, honors and awards, organizations, and then at the bottom is some more information from LinkedIn. But that is the gist of your profile. The goal here is really fill it out to the max. We want to make sure we have all of the information on our resume and then some. I want you to really showcase who you are, your potential, your interests. You can even put some hobbies on here if you want to, right? It's showcasing a little bit more of your personality. But LinkedIn is really great for SEO, search engine optimization. We want the employer to find us easily, and we want to send them to LinkedIn because LinkedIn is the place where we're showing our professional selves. So navigating the profile a little bit more, there's also this open to option. This is a newer feature on LinkedIn within the last year since it kind of emerged from COVID. So there are some different options. So if I was someone who's maybe finishing up my degree, I'm maybe starting to look for a new job, I'm going to say I'm open to finding a new job. It's going to ask you some questions. So what job titles are you interested in? Are you interested in on-site, hybrid, remote? What types of locations are you interested in? How flexible are you in your start date? Are you looking for something now? Are you kind of casually browsing? And then the types of jobs we're looking for. And then this really cool feature is our visibility. So who do we want to know that we're looking for jobs? Do we want it to be open for everybody? We want everybody to know we're looking. Or if you're someone who's trying to hide it from your current company, you can choose this recruiters only option. What this does is make sure that no one at your current company can see it unless it is a recruiter. And they have LinkedIn Recruiter on their profile, but it will only showcase to anyone in the LinkedIn Recruiter space. It will not showcase to everyone in your network. So again, if you're someone who's interested in job searching, but you kind of want to keep it a secret or not display it to the public, I would recommend the recruiters only option. Now, what this open to option does is add a little banner on your profile to showcase, hey, this person is open to work and they're looking, and you have already put in your parameters for what you're looking for. So you're really making it easy for the recruiter to find you. So that is how we would use the open to feature. There's also a couple other things. So if you're someone who's looking to create their own business, there is a new providing services option. If you're someone who's hiring, you can also select that as well. So that's kind of navigating our profile a bit. Let's look at some other features in here, like looking for USU alumni or people to connect with. So I can search for any company on LinkedIn. And for this example, I'll just use USU. And then it will pull up their main page. You can navigate to find some different options here. So they have the home tab. This will just tell you a little bit more about them. Because I work for USU, it shows my employer, but it won't show that for you. The about section, again, just telling you a little bit further, maybe where they're located. Some different posts. So what have they been posting? What have they been sharing? Right, so we have a graduate spotlight here, a couple of those actually, some Daisy Awards. So I could start interacting, engaging with them, following them, and liking their posts, etc. If they're hiring, it would be located under the jobs tab. And then because we are following, we're connected with USU, we can access the alumni feature. So that's why it's really important to have USU on your profile so that you get the full capability of this feature. So if we're looking to connect with other folks who maybe did an MBA at USU, just an example, I can put in that MBA filter and scroll down. Now it's going to show me anyone who's connected with USU that completed their MBA. And then I could connect potentially with any of these people that are listed here. So for example, let's do Emily here. So Emily's got the open to work feature on, so we can kind of check that out and what it looks like. So I can see Emily Krause here. She's got her open to work banner. She's got a clean profile, right? If I scroll down, I can read more. And then I can see Emily's open to work in any of these areas, on-site, hybrid, looking for immediate positions. So if I was interested in working for Emily, or maybe I knew an opportunity for her, right, I could connect with her. I'm actually already connected with her, but there would be an option that said connect or follow, and you can go from there. Now let's look at some other options to show you. Let's do Geraldine here. All right, so Geraldine, there's that connect button, right? I'm not connected with them yet, but I could be. So I can click this connect button and it will ask me, do I want to send a personalized note? Do I want to personalize this invitation? Your answer should always be yes, unless you just talked to this person, you immediately know them. You should always send a note. So I do have, I'll show you on the next slide in the presentation, but I do have some sample messages you can just copy and paste if you've never sent a personalized invite. But the good thing is you have a personal connection with USU, so you can always bring that in. But that's how we would kind of connect with someone. Now, I do want to show you a cool new feature that LinkedIn recently launched. This is only for larger organizations. So larger companies, organizations on LinkedIn would likely have this feature. So if I go on their company profile and under the About section, they just launched this new interested in working with us. So if they don't have any jobs that I'm interested in right now, I can click this I'm interested. And what it will do is share my profile directly with recruiters on LinkedIn. We don't want to do this if our profile is not set up yet fully, but once we are ready, definitely check out this feature because it will send your profile directly to the recruiter and let them know. So I'm not interested in working for Chegg, so I'm going to undo that, but that is a cool new feature that I wanted to share. Under that jobs tab, just like any other standardized job board, we can create job alerts. So for new openings, you'll get an email or notification about them. You can search for pretty much anything in here. So let's do project manager in San Diego. Right, just like a traditional job board, we can sort by date, we can sort by experience level, company, if it's remote. But the cool thing with LinkedIn is that you can actually do this easy apply option, and it will allow you to apply with your LinkedIn profile and allow you to upload a resume directly on LinkedIn. So if I was interested in this position, I could click on this easy apply button. It will ask for a couple things of information. You could put in your information there and send off your application directly through LinkedIn. You can track all of your previous applications through the My Jobs option here. And then it will show you your previous applications. It will show you some additional learning opportunities. So if you're interested in kind of growing a little bit with your career skills, you can do that here. And then under this job seeker guidance, you have even more options. LinkedIn just recently launched an option where you can do some practice interviewing, which is kind of cool. And you can practice that on here as well. You can like self-record and it will give you feedback directly in LinkedIn. So some pretty cool features that are launching for sure. So that's pretty much it for navigating LinkedIn and kind of optimizing your profile. So I'm going to jump back to the presentation here and wrap things up. So I mentioned those LinkedIn connection requests. You always want to send a note. We wouldn't want a stranger coming up to us, right? So it's kind of the same situation here with those LinkedIn connection requests. We want to try to make a connection, let them know the purpose of our connection. And I do have some sample messages here. You can copy and paste, put your own information in there. You can either scan the QR code or I'll make sure it's, you'll be able to access it through the link in the slides. But otherwise, definitely check this out, bookmark it, save it as a resource. But that's pretty much it for today's workshop. I'm going to put some links in the chat, including my email, the link to book an appointment with me, and the link to the Career Resources website. The Career Resources website is frequently updated with new events, new activities, new resources, all on demand for you anytime. So definitely check that out, bookmark it, save it for the future. I also want to put the presentation feedback form. So if you enjoyed today's presentation, if you found this helpful, if you didn't, I also want to know that so that I can help create some better presentations for the future. So if you have ideas or if there's a specific topic that you would love to see, definitely drop that in the form. But otherwise, I will hang out here for a couple minutes to answer any questions for any of those attending live. And if you do have any questions and you're watching the replay, please email me, make an appointment, and we can chat one-on-one. All right, take care, everybody, and best of luck with your LinkedIn profile and optimization.